The Prime Minister is defending his $100 million drought relief boost against claims he was shamed into visiting farmers doing it tough.
It was Prime Minister Scott Morrison's first commitment back in Australia following his visit to the United States.
Barren brown fields and no rain in sight. It's a world away from New York, but the Prime Minister wasted no time in getting his hands dirty.
So long as the drought goes on, then so does our response.
The Morrison government has pledged an additional $100 million to help 80,000 Australian farmers.
The mental issue is very tough on farms with maintaining a level of positiveness with the way the weather's been for so long, but I can assure you it will rain. We've just got to hang in there.
The money includes $13 million for local government infrastructure, $51.5 million for farm allowance and $33 million for fuel and groceries. The handout has been welcomed by some.
We're making sure that you can access this vital payment for 4 years in every decade, which really, I think, goes to the reality of farming in a country like Australia.
So we'll use some of that funding to actually alleviate some of that pressure on our farmers, whether it's social nights, just for last night, or even water infrastructure, some of those things. So I will take that back to my council over the next few days.
But the opposition says the PM's hand was forced by a social media page demanding he return his focus to the drought.
Well, look, I welcome any assistance for the farmers, but the fact is that Scott Morrison has been dragged kicking and screaming to this. There's a hashtag has gone viral on social media, Scott Morrison, where are you? People in drought-affected areas have been very concerned about the Prime Minister's lack of action.
Scott Morrison also defending criticism the addition to the government's $7 billion drought relief fund is too little, too late.
We do have a national drought policy. It was launched at the National Drought Summit last year, and I went through the vast array of measures that form part of that, everything from looking after people's mental health to unfarmed water infrastructure grants. As I said, we've got 21 water projects currently committed to worth almost $1 billion.
The Prime Minister says there could be more money in the pipeline. Drought relief will be factored into the budget update at the end of the year. No doubt any bonus would be welcomed by struggling farmers, including the owners of this property here at Dalby. Some parts of Queensland have now been in drought for 7 years. The farmers are also likely to see the funds sooner than later.
All up, this is around about $100 million, just over it in fact, that will be going in, and just over 40% of that will actually be spent in this financial year. It's not set and forget, our drought response, it is ongoing. We are listening very carefully. That's why we're here today. That's why my feet barely touched the ground after getting back from New York yesterday.
Next week, the Water Minister and Treasurer are set to visit drought-ravaged regions across the country. Anna Rawlings, Sky News in Dalby.